Welcome back, bitch nigga, and it's like that. Another episode of Survival Time and shows with the most corny cash. Fuck you talking about. We finna get to this next nigga. We kinda semi already got in him. For some of y'all niggas that's new to the channel, if you ain't never heard of Big Devil, I did an episode on Big Devil like a while ago. That was the first booty band that I found out about and shit, out in Cali. We finna get into the nigga who he basically tried to victimize. This my nigga Gumby. I fuck with this nigga cause he a real nigga, not cause he a Crip or a blood or whatever. I fuck with the nigga cause he a real nigga, cause he stood up for himself and he stood his ground. But we finna see what the fuck is up, cause I really don't know too much about this nigga. I want to see about this nigga now.
Welcome to Hood War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the life of Gumby. Reggie Gumby Cole was still in grade school when he moved with his mother and siblings from Louisiana to Los Angeles. They shared a 2-bedroom apartment in the Death Alley section of South Central, a dangerous strip in South Central that has the highest homicide rate in the county. As a child, he idolized his older brother, who's from the 9 Deuce Hoovers, the local gang that had their neighborhood in a chokehold. Growing up, Reggie was described as a class clown, an animal lover, and a good friend. Reggie's older brother would protect him from the neighborhood bullies. His older brother was a few blocks from home one night when he was shot to death at the age of 15. Reggie was 10 years old. When his older brother died, Reggie inherited his friends and his enemies. He also took on his brother's gang name, Gumby. He dropped out of manual arts high and spent the next few years floating, partying, and selling drugs. By 1994, he was selling crack at the motels along Figueroa with a pistol tucked in his jeans. He occasionally bumped into his friend Obi Anthony, a fellow 9 Deuce member who also sold drugs down there. Up to this point, Gumby had never been in serious trouble, but that all changed after the night of March 27th, 1994.
I was just saying this about King Von and shit and his daddy and shit. Niggas don't be realizing and shit, like things that they be leaving behind. Even with Sylvia Nunn and shit like that, with that situation and her brother being a big blood where they was from and shit. The issue with all of that shit is a lot of people don't realize how this shit could fall on your family, or how it does fall on your, or affect your family, and how it turns your family out because you was out there trying to do what you wanted to do, and you don't understand how people are seeing this and how people are being affected by this, and how even when you gone, this shit could be the aftermath that just toppled down everything else for somebody else's future. He probably could have been on a whole nother path had this shit not happened to him. Who knows? But clearly he ain't really that type of person, as you could see, because he really just selling drugs. He really just on the hustle. But I could see he ain't really out causing too much crazy trouble or nothing like that. He ain't smoking niggas or nothing like that.
Felipe Angeles had gone out for beers with his 2 friends Victor and Luis when he asked to stop at Johnny's house to see a woman named Melinda. Johnny's house was a brothel that was located on 49th and Figueroa Street, ran by John Jones. This pimp slash ex-felon ran an efficient operation. He managed to schedule up over 20 working women, firing those who were later caused trouble, and provided amenities like condoms and packs of cigarettes to his customers. Felipe was 29 years old at the time and had recently came to LA from Mexico, where he had a wife and 4 kids, and found work at a factory attaching cloth covering to stereo speakers. So that night, Felipe was looking to have a little fun. He walked up to the locked door and asked to see Melinda. The man standing guard said that she was busy and to come back tomorrow. As Felipe returned to the car where his friends were, 3 men accosted him. About 10 seconds later, 5 to 7, 8 gunshots rang out. By the time detectives arrived, Felipe's body was cold dead in the street face down. He had been shot once in the back. His 2 friends were at the hospital being treated for their injuries. Victor was struck in the chest and ankle, and Luis was shot in his legs. Both survived. Their blue Mazda was shot at least once, and a bullet had shattered the windshield of a car parked on the street. At first, detectives had little to go on, but weeks later, a tip led them to Gumby and Obi. The 2 were in jail when they learned they had been charged with murdering Felipe. At trial, they insisted they were innocent, and their defense attorney argued that they were home hungover after drinking heavily the night before. No physical evidence connected the pair to the crime. The prosecution's case relied almost entirely on eyewitnesses who identified them as the shooters. John was a star witness who said he was sure that they were the men he saw. The verdict came back guilty on all counts. Gumby and Obi were given life in prison without the possibility of parole. When Gumby first...
I'm gonna pause this shit right quick because this is my point with niggas. When you get in trouble like this, shit can get real for your ass real fucking fast. Niggas be up on my comments talking shit about gangs and this, that, and the third. That's the part don't none of them pussy ass niggas be talking about. The fact that shit could get real for your ass like that without you even realizing the fact that it's going on. You could be in jail thinking shit is sweet and catch a case and don't even know it because niggas is using your DNA or using the fact that you was caught up or you got gang history or whatever. You probably got an enemy that got killed or whatever and they trying to tie you to it. Now they don't have no physical evidence against this nigga, and this is what they trying to still do is charge this nigga. Killer part is they just did this to Tory Lanez and then he gets shanked 14 times. Now they want to free this nigga, but in Tory's situation is different because he didn't bring the trouble on himself. It was a situation that spun out of control. But this situation, this is prime example for all young niggas especially to really look at this shit and see, like, it's real easy for you to get tied into some bullshit real fucking fast, and you never even see it coming when you in the streets and you trying to do shit that you ain't supposed to be doing out here. Motherfuckers will be real quick to use your name for some shit or use your face for some shit to solve a case or close some bullshit, and how you stuck in jail for the rest of your life with no physical evidence or anything against you other than the color of your skin.
Got to prison. He made an effort to be a model inmate. He made his bed every morning and was always prompt for count. Calipatria was often described as a money prison. It was swarmed with unchecked violence and drugs were rampant. Eddie Clark, also known as Devil, was a shot caller among the black inmates at the prison. He was also a respected elder in Gumby's old gang and neighborhood. 2 years after he entered prison, Devil fell in love with a correctional officer at that prison. When she quit her job, she would visit Devil and supplied him with PCP-laced cigarettes that he sold to other inmates. Devil also manufactured vast amounts of an alcoholic brew he mixed up while working in the kitchen. As Devil's substance abuse worsened, he became excessively violent and sexual with other inmates, taking dudes' manhoods left and right. It was taking dudes down by fear due to his sheer size.
Yeah, this shit is yeah, all that gay shit. This is exactly what I'm talking about. All that zesty ass shit. You niggas want to go back and forth to jail for what? It's nothing but niggas in jail. It's nothing but niggas in jail. You want to get high, you want to party with other niggas. I'm not understanding. This nigga smoking PCP and fucking with niggas. Y'all niggas is killing me, bro. And niggas will be taking up for this bitch ass nigga. He a hoe. I don't care how many niggas he could beat up. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Niggas can still get their ass smoked. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I always say this every time I get to hearing that prison shit. Nigga, you better stand 10 toes for your manhood. I don't want to hear that goof ass shit.
The Hoovers tried to stage an intervention because he was completely out of control. On the morning of November 28th, 2000, Gumby had already known revenge could be on its way. He had refused an order from Devil to take the fall for a higher-ranking inmate who was caught with a knife. So that morning, the Devil approached Gumby in the yard and poked him with a flat, which is a piece of stainless steel sharpened to a point, and whispered to Gumby, "Nigga, you my bitch now." Gumby went off to nurse his wounds. The guards didn't notice the attack, and it was common for him.
Nigga, you my bitch now? Alright, G. This what the fuck I be saying. This This nigga's not even really one of them type of people. He not no murderous nigga. He up in there trying to be a fucking civil motherfucking prisoner. He actually trying to mind his motherfucking business and be about his motherfucking day so he can get the fuck out sooner than later. Here you go with niggas trying to cause mischief as per usual. See, this is why niggas always pulling each other down. A nigga can't never get nowhere. This man is in jail trying to mind his motherfucking business. Hit this bitch ass nigga come trying to bother him over some gang shit. Nigga, he trying to get the fuck out. He not trying to get locked up for some shit that he didn't do. He already locked up for some shit that he didn't fucking do.
To withhold details of a Devil attack, another one of Devil's victims had told guards that he was stung by a bee. Gumby knew Devil would come after him again. Gumby then dug up a knife from the yard that he fashioned previously and hid it in his pants. Minutes later, Gumby did a full sprint across the yard and leaped over a guard and dug the knife into Devil's neck. Devil died on the spot and blood was scattered. And for the second time, Gumby was charged with murder. This time, he was subject to the death penalty because of the 1995 conviction. It drew the interest of the California Innocent Project, which reviews inmates' claims of wrongful convictions. The California Innocent Project filed a corpus petition to have Gumby's murder conviction thrown out. The group argued that John, who had a previous conviction for manslaughter and was a police informant, fabricated.
That's the fuck that bitch ass nigga get. That's what the fuck you get, bitch. That's what the fuck you get, bitch. That's what the fuck you get, bitch ass nigga trying to take a nigga manhood. I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers this, cause y'all be talking that shit. I'm gonna say this. My grandma always told me, don't ever fuck with a scary nigga. Don't ever scare no nigga neither. Because a brave nigga get killed by a scary nigga. Reason being is because that man don't got nothing to lose. He's already in fear. So in his mind, he's already lost. So he's trying to do anything to win at that point. Don't never misjudge no nigga. Don't never sit here and be thinking that, oh, this nigga's too woo. You gonna keep picking at this nigga and poking at this nigga until you get your ass poked back by this nigga, and then you gonna get yourself caught up in the situation deeper because you wasn't expecting for this nigga to do something because you was thinking it was sweet for this nigga smaller and you bigger or whatever, you tough or you real or whatever. Then you see the motherfucking shoes flip on the other side of the motherfucking foot, bitch. Keep thinking shit is sweet out here trying to pick on niggas. Keep thinking shit is sweet out here because you gangbang, you went to jail, and you think other niggas ain't grown ass men out here. It's grown ass men out here. Don't matter what color you rapping, nigga. I'm black first. I'm a man first. It's grown ass men out here. And thankfully this nigga shit got flipped around, and that's what the fuck you call karma. The rapist nigga got his ass smoked, which should have happened to Fat Rat, and fucking the real nigga, the nigga who was trying to defend himself, got the fuck out of prison. So due to the simple fact of him killing this nigga, he won his fucking case and got free, bitch.
Of his testimony, after 16 years in prison and 10 years in solitary confinement, Gumby was free.
Finally free after serving 16 years for a crime he didn't commit. This is Reggie Cole. He actually walked out of a California prison over the weekend, thanking the California Innocence Project and law school students who worked diligently on his case. Attorneys were able to successfully argue that Cole's 1994 murder conviction was based on evidence that was simply fabricated.
It takes, again, a very special, strong kind kind of person to make it through 16 years of incarceration and keep fighting for their freedom.
The only way I can think to repay them is to go out in society and prove that I've spent these last 16 years preparing myself to be free.
Cole's life sentence was actually thrown out last July, but he still had to finish a manslaughter sentence for killing a fellow inmate. He now says he wants to get his GED, study the law.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is my first day of freedom. I feel good, and I'm saying, damn, I look good. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, boy, it feels good to be free. Thank everybody at the Innocence Project. Thank God. Thank my mom, my family for being so supportive.
My lawyer, Chris Floyd, don't forget him.
I thought you were part of the my attorney, Mr. Christopher Floyd.
There we go.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you very much. I'm out.
In 2011, Obi was released from prison after another judge concluded that John, the pimp, not only lied, but was given a lighter sentence on pimping and pandering charges in exchange for his testimony. Obi was ultimately awarded an $8.3 million settlement. In March of 2015, Gumby was arrested on assault with a deadly weapon and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Police accused him of shooting a fellow gang member in the leg 3 years earlier after he refused to sell them crack. Gumby went to trial and was ultimately found innocent. In 2017, Gumby was awarded a $5.2 million settlement from the city of Los Angeles. These days, Gumby is living comfortably and still goes back to his hood and hangs with his gang.
I was with him for 5 seconds, but then he lost me. You still going to the hood to kick it with these young niggas, bro. Your ass tripping. Especially when you just went through what you went through. I was riding with him. I was rocking with you. I thought you was somebody, bro, but yeah. Anyway, nah. I'm gonna say some real shit right quick. God bless that man for making it out that situation. That was a hard situation. I don't know what he went through or faced with that situation as far as like the trauma he went through, as far as, because that's probably what got him on drugs. Clearly, he went through a lot while being in jail, and he went through a lot with that situation, and even after. But one thing I'm gonna say is this: if you moving in this world, at the end of the day, a lot of things is gonna set you back. But at the end of the day, when you wake up for the next and the new, you need to be rebranding yourself. You need to be becoming the new, better version of who you was yesterday. Clearly, a lot of these niggas be falling behind. But one thing I will say is this: they did deserve that settlement check. And shit, that's all I'm gonna leave it at. Y'all let me know what y'all think in these motherfucking comments. Like, subscribe, whatever y'all want to do. Fuck what you talking about. Peace. We out.
Hey, gotta know your purpose. Understand what worth is. These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close your curtains. These